Most soldiers are trained to fight as part of a large military force. But some soldiers are trained for something very different. They operate in small teams. They train for years to master skills most soldiers will never need. They can work with foreign forces, conduct specialized missions, operate deep in difficult environments, and function under pressure where there is little room for error. These are the units that operate at the highest levels of the U.S. Army's Special Operations world. But what makes each unit different? And what happens as you move from conventional service into the increasingly specialized levels of Army Special Operations? Chapter 1: The World Above the Ordinary Soldier. The United States Army is one of the largest and most powerful military forces in the world. Millions of soldiers have served within its ranks. They train together. They operate within massive formations. And when a mission begins, the strength of the Army often comes from its ability to bring thousands of people, vehicles, aircraft, and weapons together as one force. But not every mission can be solved with a large formation. Some missions require a different kind of soldier. A soldier who can operate in a small team. A soldier who may spend months or even years preparing for a mission that lasts only a few hours. A soldier who must make decisions far from the support of a conventional army. These soldiers operate in environments where the margin for error is extremely small. They may work with foreign military forces. They may operate in mountains, deserts, jungles, cities, or deep behind difficult terrain. They may specialize in airborne operations, aviation, intelligence, communications, medicine, or direct action. But the most important difference is not simply the equipment they carry. It is the level of preparation required before they ever reach the mission. The journey into special operations begins with a simple idea. The smaller the team, the greater the responsibility placed on each individual soldier. In a conventional formation, a soldier is part of a larger system. In a specialized team, every person becomes a critical part of that system. A mistake can affect the entire team. A decision made by one person can change the outcome of an entire mission. And that is why the path into Army Special Operations is not simply about becoming stronger. It is about becoming more capable, more adaptable, more disciplined, and more prepared for situations where there may be no simple answer. But the Army's Special Operations world is not one single unit. It is a collection of organizations, missions, specialties, and levels of capability. Some units focus on unconventional warfare and building relationships with partner forces. Others specialize in direct action and rapid assault operations. Some provide the aviation that makes difficult missions possible. And behind all of them is a network of intelligence, communications, medical, logistical, and technical specialists. Together, they form a world that most soldiers will never experience. So what makes these units different? How does a soldier move from the conventional army into this highly specialized environment? And what separates one special operations organization from another? To understand that, we first need to understand what makes special operations different from conventional military service. This is the world above the ordinary soldier. Chapter 2: What makes special operations different? For most soldiers, basic training is the beginning of military service. But for special operations, becoming a soldier is only the beginning. The path into a specialized unit often begins with a selection process designed to test far more than physical strength. Candidates may arrive with years of military experience. They may already be skilled, disciplined, and physically fit. But selection asks a different question. Can you continue to perform when you are exhausted, uncertain, uncomfortable, and under constant pressure? The goal is not simply to find the strongest person in the group. Because special operations teams do not operate as collections of individuals. They operate as teams. And a person who can run the fastest or lift the most weight is not automatically the person who can contribute the most to a small, highly specialized unit. Selection is designed to reveal how people respond when the easy answers disappear. Physical fitness is still extremely important. A special operations soldier may need to carry heavy equipment over long distances, move through difficult terrain, continue working after hours of sleep deprivation and physical exhaustion, and remain focused when the body is telling them to stop. But physical strength is only one part of the equation. The real challenge is the ability to continue making good decisions while tired, to maintain discipline when motivation disappears, and to keep moving forward when the mission becomes uncomfortable. The next difference is the size of the team. Conventional military operations can involve large formations with established chains of command and extensive support. Special operations teams are often much smaller. That means each individual carries more responsibility. A communications specialist may be responsible for keeping the team connected. A medic may be the only person capable of providing advanced medical care. An intelligence specialist may be responsible for understanding the environment around the team. And the team leader must make decisions based on incomplete information. In a small team, there is nowhere to hide. Every person matters. Every skill matters. And the success of the mission depends on the team functioning as a single system. Special operations teams also train for conditions where normal advantages disappear. Darkness, bad weather, difficult terrain, limited information, and rapidly changing situations. The purpose of this training is not to make a mission look dramatic. It is to make difficult conditions feel familiar. The more often a team trains under pressure, the more prepared its members can become when pressure becomes real. Training is repeated until important actions become instinctive. Communication becomes faster. Movement becomes more coordinated. But perhaps the most important difference is adaptability. Special operations missions rarely happen in perfect conditions. Plans change. Information changes. The environment changes. And sometimes the original plan becomes impossible. A highly trained team must be able to adjust. It must understand the objective without becoming trapped by a single method of reaching it. That requires judgment, experience, trust, and the ability to make decisions when there is no perfect solution. This is why special operations is not simply a higher level of conventional military service. It is a different way of operating. Smaller teams, greater individual responsibility, more specialized training, and a constant demand for adaptability. But even within the special operations world, different units are built for very different missions. Some are designed to work alongside partner forces. Some specialize in rapid direct action. Some provide specialized aviation. And some operate at the highest levels of mission specialization. Our first major stop is one of the most recognizable organizations in the entire United States Army Special Operations community. The Green Berets. Chapter 3: The Green Berets. Among the many organizations within Army Special Operations, few are as recognizable as the Green Berets. Their official name is the United States Army Special Forces. But the name Green Berets became famous because of the distinctive headgear worn by its members. However, the beret itself is not what makes these soldiers special. The real difference is the type of missions they are trained to perform. Green Berets are designed to operate in small teams and work in environments where building relationships can be just as important as direct combat capability. Their missions can involve working with partner forces, helping train foreign military units, advising local forces, and operating in complex political and military environments. This requires a different kind of soldier. A Green Beret must be capable of operating as part of a small team, often far from the support of a large conventional formation. Each member of the team develops specialized skills. One soldier may focus on weapons. Another may specialize in communications. Another may be responsible for medical expertise. And another may focus on engineering or specialized technical capabilities. Together, these different skills allow a small team to perform tasks that would otherwise require a much larger organization. But the mission of a Green Beret is not always to be the person pulling the trigger. In many situations, the most important role is helping another force become more capable. This can involve training partner soldiers, teaching tactics, improving leadership, building military capability, and helping a partner force become more independent. This type of mission requires patience. It requires communication. And it requires the ability to understand that different countries and different military organizations may have completely different cultures, traditions, and ways of operating. A Green Beret must therefore be more than a highly trained combat soldier. They must also be an instructor, an advisor, a problem solver, and in many situations, a bridge between different military forces. This is one of the reasons why language and cultural understanding can be so important in special forces operations. A team working with a foreign partner force must be able to communicate effectively. But communication is not only about speaking the same language. It is also about understanding how people think, how leaders make decisions, how trust is built, and how relationships develop over time. A mission may depend on the ability of a small team to work effectively with people who come from a completely different background. This makes the Green Berets different from the popular image of a soldier operating alone. Their strength often comes from their ability to build capability around them. Instead of simply entering an environment and solving every problem themselves, they may work alongside local forces and help those forces become more effective. This approach can require months or even years of preparation. The team must understand the environment, study the mission, learn about the people they may work with, and prepare for conditions that may be very different from anything they have experienced before. Green Berets can also operate in a wide variety of environments. Mountains, deserts, jungles, cities, and remote areas where support may be limited. Each environment creates different challenges. The terrain changes, the climate changes, the local population changes, and the mission itself may change. That is why adaptability is such an important part of Special Forces training. A team cannot depend on one single method of operating. It must be able to adjust to the situation. The Green Beret concept is built around the idea that a relatively small team can create a much larger effect by combining specialized skills, training, leadership, and relationships. But this does not mean that the Green Berets operate without support. Behind every successful operation is a much larger network of intelligence, communications, logistics, aviation, medical support, and command organizations. The small team may be the visible part of the mission, but the system supporting that team can be enormous. And that is an important lesson about special operations. Elite units are not powerful simply because of the individuals inside them. They are powerful because of the systems, training, trust, and support that allow those individuals to perform at a high level. The Green Berets represent one of the most specialized forms of military service in the United States Army. They are soldiers, but they are also trainers, advisors, leaders, communicators, and problem solvers. Their missions can take them far from traditional military formations and into environments where success depends not only on combat ability, but also on judgment, patience, and the ability to work with others. But the Green Berets are only one part of the Army's special operations world. Another organization is built around a very different mission: speed, surprise, and the ability to strike rapidly when the situation demands it. That organization is the 75th Ranger Regiment. Chapter 4, the 75th Ranger Regiment. If the Green Berets are often associated with building relationships and developing partner forces, the 75th Ranger Regiment represents a different kind of special operations capability. The Rangers are known for speed, discipline, and the ability to conduct highly demanding operations as part of a specialized light infantry force. The 75th Ranger Regiment is an elite Army Special Operations unit designed for missions that require highly trained soldiers who can move quickly, operate as a coordinated force, and respond when time is critical. But becoming a Ranger is not simply about wearing a distinctive insignia. It requires a demanding process of training, evaluation, and continuous preparation. Rangers are expected to maintain a high level of physical fitness. They train to move efficiently. They practice working as teams. And they prepare to operate in environments where the situation can change rapidly. One of the defining characteristics of the Ranger Regiment is its focus on direct action. At a broad level, this can involve missions where a specialized force must rapidly reach an objective, accomplish a specific task, and leave the area before the situation changes. The exact mission can vary, but the requirement for speed, coordination, and discipline remains constant. A Ranger operation is not built around one individual acting alone. It depends on the entire team moving together. Every person has a role. Every movement has a purpose. And every part of the operation must be coordinated. This is why training is so important. A team cannot wait until the moment of a real mission to learn how to work together. The skills must be developed beforehand. The procedures must be practiced. And the team must learn how to respond when the plan does not unfold exactly as expected. Rangers also train for operations that may begin in difficult conditions. Darkness, bad weather, unfamiliar terrain, and limited time. These conditions can make even a simple movement more difficult. A team must be able to communicate, maintain awareness, and continue working toward its objective even when visibility and information are limited. Airborne operations are also closely associated with the Ranger tradition. The ability to rapidly move forces through the air can provide a specialized unit with a level of mobility that conventional formations may not always have. But airborne capability is only one part of the larger picture. The real advantage comes from combining mobility with training, discipline, and the ability to operate as a coordinated force. The Ranger Regiment also represents a culture of continuous readiness. Training does not stop after a soldier earns a qualification. The standard must be maintained. Skills must be practiced. Physical fitness must be preserved. And teams must continue preparing for missions that may require them to perform under extreme pressure. This creates a demanding lifestyle. A Ranger may spend a large amount of time training, moving between exercises, learning new skills, and preparing for situations that may be completely different from the last mission. The goal is not simply to become good at one task. It is to create a force capable of adapting to different missions. That adaptability is one of the reasons specialized units are so valuable. A mission may require speed. Another may require precision. Another may require the ability to operate in a difficult environment with limited support. The unit must be prepared to adjust. But even the most highly trained ground force cannot operate everywhere without support. Sometimes the biggest challenge is not reaching an objective on the ground. It is reaching that objective in the first place. That is where another specialized organization becomes essential. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, better known as the Night Stalkers. Their mission is built around a different question. How do you move special operations forces through difficult environments, often at night, with the speed and precision required for a complex mission? To answer that question, we have to move from the ground into the air. Chapter 5, the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, better known as the Night Stalkers. A special operations team can be highly trained, highly prepared, and ready for a difficult mission. But before that team can reach its objective, it may need to overcome one of the biggest challenges of all: distance, terrain, weather, and time. This is where the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment becomes important. Known as the Night Stalkers, the unit provides specialized aviation support for Army Special Operations Forces. Their aircraft are designed and operated for missions that demand a high level of precision, coordination, and preparation. The aircraft are important, but the people operating them are just as important. Pilots, crew members, maintenance specialists, and support personnel all contribute to the mission. A special operations aviation mission requires more than simply flying from one location to another. The crew must understand the mission, the environment, the aircraft, and the team they are supporting. Everything must work together. Aviation operations can become especially demanding at night. Darkness changes the environment. Visibility is reduced. Terrain becomes more difficult to identify. And the crew must rely on training, instruments, communication, and teamwork. The goal is not to make the mission look dramatic. The goal is to make a difficult environment manageable through preparation. Aviation can also provide special operations forces with a level of mobility that would be difficult to achieve on the ground. A team can move across difficult terrain, reach remote locations, and change its position far more quickly than a ground force traveling the same distance. But speed alone is not enough. The movement must be carefully planned. The aircraft must be maintained. The crew must be prepared. And the ground team must be ready to begin its mission when it arrives. This creates a relationship between the people on the ground and the people in the air. Neither side operates completely alone. The ground team depends on aviation support. The aviation crew depends on accurate information and coordination. And the entire mission depends on everyone understanding their role. This is one of the most important lessons of special operations. The most visible person is rarely the only person responsible for success. Behind a small team operating on the ground may be pilots, mechanics, intelligence specialists, communications personnel, medical teams, and many others. Each one contributes to the larger mission. The Night Stalkers represent the aviation side of this system. Their role is to help special operations forces move through environments where distance and terrain could otherwise become major obstacles. And when aviation, ground forces, intelligence, communications, and support systems work together, a mission becomes more than a group of individuals. It becomes a coordinated system. But the Army's special operations world becomes even more specialized as the mission requirements become more demanding. Some organizations focus on unconventional warfare. Others focus on specialized direct action capabilities. Some provide aviation, and others are built around missions that require an even higher level of specialization. To understand that part of the structure, we need to look beyond the units most people recognize immediately. We need to look at the organizations and teams operating at the most specialized levels of the special operations world. Chapter 6: The Most Specialized Units. At the highest levels of Army Special Operations, the missions become increasingly specialized. The units involved may have different names, different structures, and different responsibilities. But they share one common requirement. They must be capable of performing missions where the margin for error is extremely small. At this level, specialization becomes even more important. A soldier may spend years developing a particular skill. A team may train repeatedly for a very specific type of mission. And an entire organization may be built around capabilities that are not commonly found anywhere else in the Army. This is where the world of special operations becomes difficult to understand from the outside. Because the most important details of certain missions and capabilities are not always publicly discussed. What can be understood, however, is the basic idea behind these highly specialized organizations. They are designed to solve very difficult problems. Some may focus on highly specialized direct action missions. Others may support intelligence collection, communications, advanced mobility, or other specialized capabilities. The important point is that no single unit can be the best at everything. Specialization allows different organizations to develop deep expertise in specific areas. One team may be focused on a particular operational environment. Another may specialize in a specific type of mission. Another may provide the intelligence or technical support required to make the operation possible. This creates a layered system. At the visible level, there may be a small team carrying out a mission. But behind that team may be a much larger network of specialists. Intelligence personnel may study the environment. Communications specialists may help maintain connections. Technical experts may manage complex equipment. And support teams may provide the logistics required to keep the entire operation functioning. In some cases, the most important part of the mission may happen before the operational team ever arrives. Information must be collected. Plans must be developed. Risks must be evaluated. And different organizations must coordinate their actions. This requires a level of planning that can involve many different specialties. The people involved may not all wear the same uniform. They may not all perform the same job, but they are connected by the same mission. This is also why special operations should not be understood simply as a collection of elite individuals. The real strength comes from the organization, the training, the information, the technology, and the ability to connect different capabilities together. A highly specialized team may be extremely capable, but its effectiveness depends on the system supporting it. That system may include intelligence analysts, communications specialists, aviation crews, medical personnel, technical experts, and logistical teams. Each one solves a different problem, and every problem that is solved can make the overall mission more effective. This is the difference between being highly trained and being part of a highly specialized system. An individual may be excellent at one skill, but a specialized organization combines many skills together. The result is a force capable of responding to situations that require precision, speed, adaptability, and discretion. But this level of specialization comes with a cost. The training is demanding. The standards are high, and the expectation is that individuals must continue improving long after they have earned their position. The moment a soldier stops learning, the environment around them may begin to change. Technology changes, missions change, threats change, and the skills required for one generation of operations may not be exactly the same as those required for the next. That is why continuous training is such an important part of the special operations culture. The goal is not simply to reach an elite level. The goal is to remain capable at that level. And this brings us to one of the most important ideas in the entire special operations world. No matter how specialized a unit becomes, it still depends on people. People who can communicate. People who can trust one another. People who can remain calm under pressure. And people who understand that their individual role is connected to something much larger. The image of a highly trained operator may be the most visible part of special operations. But the complete system is much larger. Behind every specialized team is a network of people who make the mission possible. And that network leads us to the next part of the story. The support structure. Because even the most specialized team in the world cannot operate without the people behind it. Chapter 7, the support structure. When people imagine special operations, they often picture the team moving toward the objective. The operators, the aircraft, the equipment, the mission itself. But what is often less visible is the system supporting everything happening on the ground. A special operations team does not operate in isolation. Behind a small team may be a much larger network of people working to provide information, communication, medical care, transportation, equipment, and logistical support. The first part of that system is information. Before a mission begins, people need to understand the environment. What is happening? What has changed? What risks exist? And what information does the team need to make better decisions? Intelligence specialists help organize and analyze information that can support the mission. Their work may involve studying maps, analyzing reports, monitoring developments, and helping decision-makers understand a complicated situation. The information may not always provide a perfect answer, but better information can help reduce uncertainty. And in a difficult environment, reducing uncertainty can be extremely valuable. Communication is another essential part of the system. A team may be operating far away from its headquarters or other supporting elements. That means reliable communication can become critical. Communications specialists help ensure that information can move between different parts of the organization. The team on the ground, command elements, aircraft, support organizations, and other units involved in the mission. Without communication, even a highly trained team can become isolated. And isolation can make an already difficult situation even more complicated. Medical support is another essential capability. Special operations teams operate in environments where medical assistance may not be immediately available. That is why medical personnel receive specialized training and become an important part of the team. Their role is not limited to responding after something goes wrong. Medical planning can also influence how a mission is prepared, where support is available, how injuries could be managed, and how a team can continue operating in difficult conditions. Then there is logistics. Every operation requires resources: food, water, fuel, medical supplies, communications equipment, protective equipment, and countless other items. These resources must be moved, maintained, organized, and delivered. The people responsible for this work may never appear in the dramatic images associated with special operations. But without them, the mission cannot continue. Equipment also requires constant attention. Vehicles need maintenance. Aircraft need maintenance. Communication systems need to function. And specialized equipment must be prepared before it is needed. This creates another important lesson. The most advanced equipment in the world is only useful when people know how to maintain it, operate it, and integrate it into the larger mission. A special operations force is therefore much larger than the people who appear at the front of the operation. It is a network. Different people, different specialties, different responsibilities, all connected to the same objective. This network also explains why special operations missions require so much coordination. A team may be small, but the organization supporting that team can be enormous. Intelligence provides information. Communications connect people. Medical personnel prepare for emergencies. Logistics provides resources. Aviation creates mobility. And technical specialists help solve problems that cannot be solved through ordinary methods. Each part of the system is important, and if one part fails, the other parts may have to compensate. That is why trust becomes so important. The people involved must know that others are doing their jobs. They must understand their own responsibilities, and they must be able to work together when the situation becomes difficult. The result is a system that combines many different skills. The person who collects information may never meet the person who ultimately uses it. The person who maintains equipment may never be present during the mission. The person who provides medical support may only become visible during an emergency. But all of them contribute to the same outcome. This is what makes special operations more than a collection of elite units. It is an ecosystem, a network of people, equipment, information, training, and support. And the better those elements work together, the more capable the overall force becomes. But this system comes with another reality. The people who work within it are expected to perform at a high level again and again. The training does not end. The pressure does not disappear. And the standards do not remain fixed. Which raises an important question. What does it actually cost to reach and remain at this level? Chapter 8: The Price of Becoming Elite. The image of an elite soldier can make the final result look simple. A trained professional, a confident team, a specialized mission. But reaching that level is rarely simple. Behind every qualification is a long process of preparation. Behind every skill is repetition. And behind every successful team is a history of difficult training. The physical demands are obvious. Long movements, heavy equipment, difficult terrain, limited sleep, and training that continues even when the body is tired. But physical exhaustion is only one part of the challenge. The mental pressure can be just as demanding. A soldier must remain focused when conditions become uncomfortable. They must continue thinking when they are tired. And they must continue performing when the situation is not going according to plan. This is one of the reasons special operations training is designed to be demanding. The goal is not simply to test what a person can do on their best day. It is to understand how they perform when the conditions are difficult. Because real missions do not always happen when people are perfectly rested. The environment may be uncomfortable. The information may be incomplete. And the pressure may be high. That is why preparation becomes so important. Training creates familiarity. Repetition creates confidence. And teamwork creates trust. But even after a soldier successfully reaches a specialized unit, the process does not end. The standard must continue to be maintained. Skills must be practiced. Fitness must be maintained. And new capabilities must be learned. The world does not remain still. Technology changes. Equipment changes. Missions change. And the challenges facing military forces can change over time. A soldier who stops learning can quickly fall behind. This is why elite organizations place such a strong emphasis on continuous improvement. The goal is not simply to become better than someone else. The goal is to become capable enough to perform when the situation demands it. There is also a personal cost. Training takes time. Deployments can take people away from their families. The demands of the job can affect daily life. And the pressure of constantly maintaining a high standard can be difficult. No qualification eliminates those challenges. In many ways, reaching a higher level of specialization can create even greater responsibility. The more capable a person becomes, the more others may depend on that capability. A team depends on its members. Leaders depend on their teams. And missions depend on the entire system working together. That is why the idea of becoming elite is not simply about status. It is about responsibility. The uniform may look different. The training may be more specialized. And the mission may be more demanding. But the fundamental question remains the same. Can this person be trusted to do their job when the conditions are difficult? Can they support the people around them? Can they continue learning? And can they remain part of a team when individual performance is no longer enough? Because at the highest levels of military service, no one succeeds alone. The strongest team is not necessarily the one with the most impressive individual. It is the team whose members can rely on one another. And that may be the greatest price of becoming elite. The responsibility to remain ready. The responsibility to keep improving. and the responsibility to never forget that the mission is always bigger than one person. From the conventional soldier to the most specialized team, the journey is not simply about moving upward through a hierarchy. It is about increasing responsibility, increasing specialization, and increasing dependence on the people around you. And that brings us to the final question. When all these units, skills, and capabilities are placed together, what does the complete structure of Army Special Operations actually look like? Chapter 9: The Final Level. The world of Army Special Operations is not a single ladder. There is no simple path where every soldier moves through the same units in the same order. Instead, it is a network of different capabilities, different missions, different forms of training, and different levels of responsibility. A conventional soldier may operate as part of a large formation. That formation provides strength through numbers, organization, and coordinated support. A specialized soldier may operate within a much smaller team. That team may depend more heavily on the skills and decisions of each individual member. A special forces soldier may be focused on working with partner forces and developing capability beyond the immediate team. A ranger may be trained for rapid, highly coordinated operations. A specialized aviation crew may provide the mobility that allows a ground team to reach an otherwise difficult location. And behind all of them is a network of people providing intelligence, communications, medical care, logistics, maintenance, and technical expertise. Each part of the system has a different purpose, but none of them exists completely on its own. That is the most important lesson about military specialization. The higher the level of capability, the more important teamwork becomes. Specialization does not eliminate the need for other people. It increases it. A highly trained individual still needs a team. A highly trained team still needs support. And a highly capable organization still depends on the larger military system around it. This is why the idea of a single highest level can be misleading. Different units are built for different missions. One may be better suited for one type of operation. Another may be designed for a completely different environment. Another may exist to provide a capability that no other organization can easily replace. The question is not always which unit is the best. The better question is, what problem was this unit created to solve? That question helps explain the entire world of Army Special Operations. The Green Berets, the Rangers, the Night Stalkers, specialized mission organizations, and the thousands of people supporting them. They are not simply different versions of the same soldier. They are different parts of a much larger system. A system built around preparation, specialization, adaptability, and trust. But there is another lesson hidden inside this structure. The path from a conventional soldier to a specialized soldier is not only a journey toward greater capability. It is also a journey toward greater responsibility. The more specialized the mission becomes, the more important preparation becomes. The more independent the team becomes, the more important judgment becomes. And the more people depend on the team, the more important trust becomes. That is what separates the different levels of military service. Not simply the equipment, not simply the uniform, and not simply the title. It is the responsibility placed on the individual. From the soldier beginning their military career to the highly specialized team operating at the edge of the Army's capabilities, every level serves a purpose. Every role contributes something different, and every mission depends on people doing their jobs well. Because in the end, the most elite military organization is still built from ordinary human beings. People who train, people who learn, people who make mistakes, people who improve, and people who depend on one another. The difference is what they are willing to prepare for, how much responsibility they are willing to accept, and how well they can perform when the conditions become difficult. That is the world above the ordinary soldier. Not a world where one person stands above everyone else, but a world where every person has a role. Every skill has a purpose, and every level of capability supports something larger. From the first step into military service to the most specialized missions in the Army, the journey is not simply about becoming more elite. It is about becoming more capable of serving the mission. And when the mission demands more, the people who answer that demand must be ready.